The roaring sound of propellers filled the Siberian air. A crowd gathered in Unwanted, their eyes fixed on a futuristic promise. It was 2018, and the Russian Postal Service was making history, launching a $20,000 autonomous drone designed to connect even the most isolated communities across their vast nation. This wasn't just a local spectacle, it was a global test case for a technology that Amazon CEO, Jeff Bezos, had envisioned 5 years earlier, predicting widespread drone deliveries within half a decade. But on that momentous day in Unwanted, as the crowd cheered and cameras flashed, something went catastrophically wrong, leading to an outcome that would underscore the fundamental obstacles facing drone delivery, a story we will revisit later to understand the full implications of that fateful flight. Back in 2013, Jeff Bezos, the visionary behind Amazon, confidently declared that within 4 to 5 years, his e-commerce behemoth would be dispatching packages to customers in under 30 minutes, all thanks to self-flying drones. This wasn't merely a futuristic fantasy, it represented a potential revolution for a company that pours billions annually into employing hundreds of thousands of human delivery drivers. The allure of a drone, unpaid, untiring, was undeniable. Over the last decade, Amazon has funneled more than $2 billion into this ambitious undertaking. Yet, as of May 2023, the project remains a resounding failure, having completed a mere 100 deliveries across just 2 trial locations. While Amazon's efforts have largely stalled, other industry titans like Walmart and Google have also poured resources into drone delivery initiatives, achieving slightly more progress. Still, the widespread adoption of this technology appears to be many years away. Drones themselves are not particularly novel, even amateur enthusiasts can acquire a quadcopter for a few $100s. This segment will delve into the practical hurdles that continue to plague drone delivery. So, if you're eagerly awaiting a drone to drop off your pizza, you might be waiting a while. When Amazon first unveiled its drone delivery aspirations in 2013, they acknowledged that it would take approximately 4 to 5 years to secure the necessary regulatory clearances and perfect the technology. However, a significant development was unfolding on the other side of the world, deep within Siberia. By 2016, the Russian Postal Service had announced its intention to deploy drones for package delivery across its sprawling territory. And indeed, just 2 years later, in 2018, following intensive testing and what they heralded as groundbreaking technological advancements, they finally had a drone ready for autonomous package transport. This innovation promised to bridge the vast distances, connecting even Russia's most remote settlements with swift and economical postal services. The residents of Unwanted, a Siberian city, gathered in their town square, anticipating a moment of technological triumph as the drones were prepared for their inaugural flight. So, what exactly transpired? The manufacturer of the ill-fated $20,000 drone attributed its loss of control to disruptive Wi-Fi signals emanating from the residential area, which interfered with its communication systems. This incident highlights one of the primary deterrents to widespread drone delivery: safety concerns. Drones, traveling at high velocities, can pose a grave danger to people on the ground if they malfunction. Consider the 2016 incident in Canada, where a drone hobbyist lost control of his DJI Phantom 3, weighing a mere 2.7 pounds, while filming a 5K race. The drone plummeted 10 meters, striking a woman's head and causing a spinal injury. She was rushed to the hospital and was fortunate to avoid permanent paralysis. Delivery drones, by necessity, must be considerably larger. For example, Wing, Google's drone delivery arm, operates drones weighing 11.4 pounds, capable of carrying packages up to 2.6 pounds. With a full payload, these drones reach approximately 14 pounds, more than 100 times the weight of the DJI drone that inflicted the spinal injury. Any object soaring through the air presents risks to individuals on the ground and to other aircraft. Consequently, air traffic is subject to stringent regulations. In the United States, the FAA employs 11,500 air traffic controllers who manage an average of 45,000 flights daily, encompassing both massive commercial jets and smaller private planes and helicopters. Amazon alone processes over 13 million package deliveries each day within the US. Clearly, replicating a manned air traffic control system for drones on such a scale is impractical. For drone delivery to be economically viable, the drones must operate autonomously, allowing a single operator to oversee multiple units. Otherwise, it would simply be more cost-effective to use traditional delivery vans. Currently, Amazon's drones operate under FAA Part 107 regulations, which mandate flights below 400 feet to prevent interference with higher-flying manned aircraft. This altitude restriction isn't a major hindrance, as delivery drones don't require greater heights. The more significant obstacle is Part 107's requirement that drones remain within the visual line of sight of their operator. This stipulation fundamentally undermines the entire premise of autonomous delivery, forcing Amazon to assign an employee to constantly monitor each drone. It would be more efficient for that observer to simply deliver the package themselves. The current objective of Amazon's drone operations is to refine the technology and eventually secure regulatory approval for beyond visual line of sight, BVLOS, flight. Only then could drone delivery potentially become more economical than human delivery. The grand vision involves customers having a designated landing pad on their property where the drone can autonomously deposit packages. The drone would depart from a warehouse, navigate to the customer's landing pad without human intervention, and then return to its base. Equipped with cameras, the drone is designed to identify and circumvent obstacles, adjusting its flight path as needed. To gain FAA approval for BVLOS operations without constant human observation, any drone operator must demonstrate its ability to avoid hazards across a wide array of potential scenarios. This is precisely what Amazon has been attempting for the past decade, with limited success. A Bloomberg investigation revealed that during a 4-month span in 2021, Amazon's Oregon testing facility experienced 5 drone crashes. One of these incidents sparked a brush fire that consumed 25 acres, necessitating intervention from the local fire department. A significant challenge for Amazon's drones is their considerable size and weight. At 85 pounds, they are designed to transport a 5-pound package up to 7 miles. Their intricate propeller designs, engineered for maximum speed and power, have ironically contributed to frequent malfunctions and crashes. They remain years away from obtaining FAA approval for BVLOS flights. The Amazon drone program, largely confined to experimental deliveries in just 2 small towns, Lockford, California, and College Station, Texas, has been an unmitigated disaster. As of March of this year, a mere 2 households in Lockford had signed up for drone deliveries. Amazon has resorted to offering free gift cards to incentivize these few customers to place orders more frequently, as engagement has been minimal. Amazon isn't the only tech giant dabbling in drone technology. Wing, a Google subsidiary, has completed over 350,000 food deliveries in select markets across the US, Australia, and Finland. Unlike Amazon, Wing has secured approval for BVLOS drone flights in specific experimental zones. While the drones themselves are autonomous, human operators remotely monitor them from a central control facility. An Australian YouTuber recently posted a video showcasing his experience ordering food via Wing. The drone, quite audible upon approach, descended to deliver his order, a fascinating but noisy spectacle. Earlier, we established that BVLOS approval is a necessary, though not sufficient, condition for drone delivery to be economically viable. Wing has achieved BVLOS capability, yet it's improbable that its current model is profitable. Here's how Wing's system operates. Drones are loaded with food at a central control center, known as the Nest, and dispatched to customer homes. The maximum travel distance is 6 miles, typically taking about 5 minutes. Crucially, customers must reside in single-family homes with sufficient yard space to serve as a drop-off point. After delivery, the drone returns to the Nest for battery recharging. This centralized Nest model means customers can only order from a limited selection of retailers located adjacent to the Nest, typically convenience stores offering packaged goods like pastries and sodas. Due to a stringent weight limit of just 2.6 pounds in small package dimensions, ordering a full meal for an individual, let alone a family, is impossible. Given these significant limitations, what would a customer be willing to pay for this restricted drone delivery service? It's difficult to say, as Wing currently charges nothing per order. Customers pay the same retail price they would if they visited the store in person, with no additional delivery fee. Since 2019, Wing has processed 350,000 orders but has yet to generate any revenue. Their initial experimental markets serve as loss leaders, designed to test the technology, a dynamic similar to Amazon's need to distribute gift cards in Lockford, California, to stimulate orders. Eventually, Wing will need to implement delivery fees. These fees will have to be competitive with existing food delivery options to achieve widespread adoption. Drone delivery is primarily suited for suburban environments. With a maximum range of 6 miles, the average delivery distance would likely be around 3 miles. A conventional road trip for a 3-mile direct distance might translate to 5 miles of actual driving. At 30 miles per hour, a human delivery driver would spend roughly 9 minutes on the outbound journey, totaling 18 minutes for a round trip. DoorDash, for instance, pays its drivers a base rate of $14 per hour, meaning an 18-minute trip would earn a driver just over $4. However, a human food delivery driver can service any restaurant and transport significantly more than 2.6 pounds, making their service far superior to drones. Customers currently utilizing Wing in its experimental markets are typically ordering very inexpensive items, often costing just $1 or $2. Given the low value of these purchases, it's hard to imagine they would be willing to pay more than $1 for delivery once Wing begins charging. The economic viability simply doesn't seem to add up. A single Wing Nest currently supports approximately 30 drones. If each delivery takes 10 minutes and they operate at half capacity, they could generate roughly $3 per hour. The time required for battery charging between flights remains unclear. Operating 30 drones for 12 hours a day could potentially yield $1,000 daily, or $360,000 annually. This assumes 90 deliveries per hour, or more than one delivery every minute. Such an operation would likely require at least 3 individuals to load food onto the drones, another 2 or 3 operators in the control room, a maintenance technician, and a manager. Add to this the cost of real estate, the substantial initial investment in the drones themselves, and electricity expenses. When all factors are considered, it's exceedingly difficult to envision how this model could generate a profit. Finally, there are the issues of noise and safety. Many communities harbor resentment towards drones due to the irritating buzzing sound produced by their propellers, which residents often liken to a swarm of angry mosquitoes. Safety remains a paramount concern. Even with wing operating on a limited scale in a few select communities, serious incidents have already occurred. Last year, a wing drone in Australia crashed into power lines and caught fire, resulting in a power outage for 2,000 residents. Given the inherent limitations in carrying capacity and range, employing drones for food delivery appears to be a misguided endeavor. But what about long-range drones capable of delivering high-value goods to remote areas? Could this prove viable? Earlier this year, YouTuber Mark Rober released a video proclaiming that the drone company Zipline would revolutionize everything. Zipline has rapidly become arguably the most hyped drone company globally. Zipline intends to launch a food delivery service in the US, similar to Wing's efforts. They are currently conducting a trial in Salt Lake City, where customers can pay $13 to have 4 cookies parachuted onto their lawn, the sole item on their current menu. I anticipate this food delivery venture will fail for the same reasons Google's Wing will. Perhaps the more compelling aspect of Zipline's business lies in its medical deliveries in Africa. Since 2016, they have been transporting blood to remote hospitals requiring urgent transfusions. These drones drop their blood packages via parachute and can cover distances up to 80 kilometers. Zipline has secured contracts with various African governments, who compensate them between $14 and $30 per delivery. A hospital in a distant village might desperately need a specific blood type or specialized medical equipment not readily available. In such critical situations, the premium for rapid drone delivery, even if significantly higher than ground transportation, can be justified. However, has this niche been sufficient to transform Zipline into a profitable enterprise? As it is not publicly traded, its financial statements are inaccessible. The only publicly listed pure-play drone delivery company is Drone Delivery Canada Corporation, which currently trades at 27 cents per share, boasts a market capitalization of $60 million Canadian dollars, and appears to be on the verge of bankruptcy. This company has been operational for many years, following a business model akin to Zipline's. They serve remote communities in northern Canada, delivering medical supplies and other high-value items with speed. This would seem to be the ideal environment for drone deliveries. Some of the communities they assist are located on islands, becoming virtually inaccessible by sea ice during winter months. In 2022, Drone Delivery Canada generated a meager $826,000 in revenue. However, their operating expenses soared to $14.9 million, resulting in a staggering operating margin of negative 1,700%. This business model is clearly unsustainable. To illustrate the insignificance of their revenue, consider that they spent $320,000 on shareholder information, a category that likely includes investor relations and other costs associated with being a public company, which alone consumed over a third of their total revenue. It's crucial to note that Drone Delivery Canada is not a fledgling startup. It was founded nearly a decade ago in 2014. Yet, it continues to generate minuscule revenue with no discernible path to profitability. The fundamental problem is that remote Canadian communities, by their very nature, have relatively low demand for deliveries. Drone Delivery Canada incurs substantial costs establishing operations and employing a significant staff. However, due to the sparse populations in these communities, order frequency remains exceedingly low. Even when the cost per delivery is high, they simply do not fulfill enough orders to offset their considerable fixed expenses. Over the past decade, both megacap technology companies and ambitious startups have collectively invested well over $10 billion in a quest to make drone delivery a reality. On the surface, it appeared to be an innovative solution capable of drastically reducing the cost of last-mile delivery. However, as of 2023, persistent technological obstacles have consistently thwarted the development of any truly economically feasible real-world applications. At some point, venture capitalists and major tech firms will need to confront this reality and cease throwing good money after bad. What are your thoughts on drone delivery? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Wall Street Millennial, signing out. Every fraud in these files looked genius until the numbers came due. The fraud files opens a new case every day, built from court records and the paper trails they tried to bury. If this one kept you watching, subscribe. Tomorrow's case is already open, and your next one is right here.